Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're looking at a really striking narrative. It's set in 2045, Sycamore Street.
Yeah, and it follows this teacher, Elena.
Yeah.
She's basically the last one left watching the quiet death of public opportunity in her community.
Right. And our mission here is to unpack that, to follow the trail, the specific policies that led, according to this source, to this sort of tragic endpoint.
The story kicks off with a really sharp contrast. You meet Leo.
Student.
Yeah, the calculus whiz from the east side. He's got dreams of engineering. He really represents that raw public potential.
And then you have the Zenith Towers downtown, gleaming, distant.
Exactly. The narrative sets them up as this symbol of concentrated, almost untouchable elite power, a real visual clash from the start.
So where does the policy chain begin? What's the trigger?
It starts with something called the Economic Freedom Act. Now, the source suggests the groundwork was already there, but this act made it official.
What did it do?
Huge tax cuts, capital gains, corporate profits, celebrated in those Zenith Towers, you can imagine. But the key thing, according to this narrative, wasn't just the cuts. No, it was how the act was used. It basically provided the mechanism to frame public services, like education, as financially unsustainable, a burden.
Okay, so connect that back to Sycamore Street. How did that act hit Galena's school?
Directly, swiftly. The state education budget gets slashed by 40%, almost overnight.
40%, wow.
Yeah, and that meant, no more after-school help, no art classes, no music, all those support structures, especially for kids like Leo, gone.
Like dismantled.
Brick by brick. But the real gut punch, the narrative says, was more personal.
What was that?
The state university system, under pressure, had to pull the plug on all the new legacy scholarships.
Ah, the ones for first-generation students.
Exactly. That was Leo's bridge.
Yeah.
His fragile connection from his talent to, an actual engineering career. And it just snapped.
So the promise vanished. How did people react?
Well, protests started up near the Zenith Towers. The source describes this mix of, real anger, but also just despair.
And how were these protests reported?
That's telling, isn't it? The news, broadcasting from near those towers, quickly labeled them riots. It really shaped the public view, controlled the narrative.
And was there pushback beyond the streets? Any legislative attempts?
Yeah, the source mentions that. You see these privatized security forces managing the crowds. First, public control becoming, a commodity.
Bought and sold.
Right. And then there's this public opportunity investment bill, an attempt to maybe reverse things.
Did it have a chance?
Not really. It wasn't just defeated. The narrative says it was completely dismantled in committee, just buried under an avalanche of lobbying, fast, efficient. It showed that any challenge to this new order, wouldn't get far.
So that systemic response just crushed any resistance.
Pretty much. And that really underscores the human cost. We see Leo again later.
What happens to him?
The spark's gone. Elena sees him loading packages, drone delivery stuff, his engineering dreams. Irrelevant. The narrative hammers this point. His potential didn't matter because the only thing that mattered was the return on capital.
Ooh, that's heavy.
And the final nail, Northwood Public School itself closes.
The school is just shut down.
And the land. Immediately sold to the Zenith Education Corporation.
Wait, the Zenith? Same group.
Seems so. They plan to build a new, exclusive learning campus. The irony is pretty thick, right? The entity benefiting from dismantling public education scoops up the remains.
So bringing this all together for you listening, what's the big takeaway here?
I think the core insight is how opportunity got redefined. It shifted from being seen as, a public good, something everyone should have access to
being a private asset, something you buy, like joining an exclusive club run by Zenith.
Exactly. This story draws a really clear line from those big macro policy choices, the tax cuts, directly down to the micro-level human result, a kid losing his future, a community losing its school.
It's a cold logic. Public good gives way to corporate interest.
Right. And if you think about it, those Zenith Towers, the Zenith Education Campus, the source says they seem like they're on a different planet from Sycamore Street.
A world away.
Yeah. And that leaves you with a question, doesn't it? When knowledge access is privatized, when opportunity is tied strictly to capital, who actually gets to learn? And maybe more fundamentally, who gets to decide which streams are even worth investing in anymore?